Hello, my name is John Michael.
My name's David Morris.
This is
Not
not
couples
couples
therapy.
therapy, where it's not therapy, but we're certainly a couple. Where it's not therapy, but you should probably get yours.
Yes. Everyone should get theirs. Have you ever had a therapist?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes. I had one
Yeah.
after Big Brother.
Oh.
She charged up the wazoo. She was like $190 an hour.
Oh, that is expensive.
Yeah. Or per session? No, an
Yeah.
hour. I feel like it was an hour.
Your
Or something
sessions,
ridiculous.
To me, I think your sessions would probably be an hour.
It was something ridiculous, but that was rude. All right, well, now we got to stop recording.
Why?
'Cause that was mean. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. My company though does really good. Has good benefits. The company that I work for has really good benefits. We have $5,000 a year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. Mine was always like we changed our benefits now. It's a little bit better because it's like a certain amount per session. But before it was like a health spending account, and you would run out of money so quickly that like by March I would basically be on my own. I'd have to pay for it on my own because it was like a health spending account for everything. So massage, physio, mental health.
Oh.
Yeah. And
no, my benefits are crazy because we have a health spending account.
Oh wow.
And then on top of that, everything is like separate. Like
That's amazing.
I have insane coverage basically.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. When
Thank
can I
you.
get enrolled in that?
Oh, we'll see about that.
Okay.
So tell us what do we have in store for today's show?
Today we are covering Stranger Things, Volume 2, reaction to Volume 2, our thoughts on Volume 2,
Yep.
and our hopes and dreams for the finale.
Yep.
And then it is a Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year's and
Happy
Happy
New
Friday.
Year. Yeah.
I figured if I say things like Happy Friday, it'll encourage me to upload the episode on that day.
We are manifesting
So
a
if
drop
you're-
on January 2nd, Friday.
If you're seeing this on Friday, thank you so much for tuning in.
You're still on holidays. You
Yeah.
have nothing else to do other
Yeah.
than to watch the two of
Thank
us.
you for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching our journey. I think we're gonna stick. We actually thought of another podcast name
We did.
the other day, and I'm like, oh, it's so good. Okay, you want to hear it? It's over budget.
Yes.
And there's no before I came up with not couples therapy, I thought about okay, how can I maximize SEO, search engines? I want people to be able to be not couples therapy on Google, and then my name would pop up or your name would pop up. That's that was part of the branding strategy, if you would. And when I looked up when I Googled not couples therapy, it didn't show.
Yeah, there isn't a podcast.
There
right
isn't a
now.
podcast. There is one from X amount of years ago. They have one episode. But it's not available. So I was
Imagine
like, okay,
they
let's do
did
this.
one episode, Not Couples Therapy. We have already
Yeah.
beat them by 100%. With this being our
Exactly.
second episode of Not Couples Therapy.
200%.
Well, beat them by 100%. But yeah, 200%. We are 200%.
Yeah,
above.
we were 200% over
Girl,
there.
The show showed, we're talking about Slayers,
Math.
showed your math skills are mathin' for
Yeah,
sure. So,
I'm a mathematician.
and I come from a family of accountants, so I'm ready. I'm ready with the math.
Exactly.
Anyway, the over budget is such a great name. Also
Yes,
for us,
over
and
budget.
potentially even more on brand.
Yes, because we're always over budget on everything.
Everything.
This Christmas, let me tell you how David was like, "Oh, how much are you budgeting for Christmas?" And I
Yeah.
said, "I'm gonna budget around 250."
And I think I said that's perfect. I'm gonna do about 400.
Yeah.
Did either of us do that?
No.
No.
No, just one present alone was 250, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, one present for me was $800. Speaking of presents, wow! Can you see it on screen? Yeah, I think you can see it on screen.
There it
on my
is.
screen at least. Not sponsored. But
Not
this
sponsored.
is brand new, fresh, out the box.
I will say that gift is half for me, and so far to date, I probably use it more than half the time.
Yeah, 90%.
Because I love all my retro games. I love my N64 games, particularly. I had one that was actually a Christmas gift I got when I think I was 12, 13, and immediately made me the most popular kid in class.
Oh,
Immediate
yeah.
popularity that came.
Yeah, you had it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone wanted to come over, and we do all-nighters, staying up all night playing on Super Smash,
Yeah.
playing on the Nintendo N64.
You just unlocked this core memory of mine.
Let's
So to no surprise, I was a thief growing up. But no, like a real thief. Like I was,
Really?
yeah, like I
Wow.
was stealing people's Game Boys.
Wow. I had no idea.
I was stealing people's Game Boys and like cartridges, and I was really putting. You know when they say like, I don't look for trouble, trouble found me.
Yeah.
I did both. Like I was looking for trouble and trouble found me. But I wasn't looking for trouble on purpose. I was just like, I think it was a lot of people would say it was theft, but I feel like it was like strategic borrowing.
Would the law say it was theft?
I mean, if they got it back, then no. But there have been a couple of times when I was like really young, like younger, I'd be like at a friend's house and they would have like the newest, bestest, greatest Pokemon game. And I would like steal it.
Mm.
And they wouldn't know it was me.
Mm.
Unless they did know. Or they do know. And therefore, why
And they're
they don't
watching
talk
right
to
now.
that's why they don't talk to me
And they're
anymore,
being
right?
like, this
Yeah.
is the guy who
It's like,
stole my Pokemon.
yikes. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
there's this one close encounter where like it turned into, so like every time I've stolen something at this age, like no one looked for it. Like everyone
Wow.
just gave up. But then there was this one time, and I don't even think it was like a Pokemon cartridge. It was like a game for
Yeah.
the Game Boy, right?
Yeah.
And I like it turned into a full-on manhunt. Like everyone was looking
To figure out who had it.
to figure out like where it went,
Oh, wow.
And it was like crazy, like just everyone looking for it. So I was like, I still had it. Like I still had it with me. And so what I did was I went into their car and I put it underneath one of their seats.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we should look in the car. What if it's in the car?
Brilliant.
And so they
Brilliant.
found it in the car.
Yeah.
And by they, I meant me. I found it in the
Look
car.
at this.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I was right this whole time. This is so crazy. Oh.
That's, you've never told me that story. And that's incredible.
I've never told anyone that story.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I would do it all the time. I don't know why.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go. Our first therapy confession.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Speaking of confessions, we also have voicemails.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
we
the
have a
last
couple
thing.
of voicemails.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I not get through that?
I don't think so.
I think I ran
Yeah.
out of steam halfway through about what we're covering. We also have our first voice notes. Thank you to those people who started to submit.
Yes.
We're excited. I have not heard these. I don't know if you have.
I haven't. I try not to listen to things because then I want it to be like fresh.
Yeah.
I don't believe that advice should be like, if you were, okay, like if I was calling you for advice.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't preface to you like, hey, David, I'm calling you about something that happened at work today about this and this and this and this. I don't give you a runway.
Right.
To like be able
See,
to
I
think.
just want to get your advice.
It just kind of comes out, right?
Yeah.
So like it should be the exact same thing. It's like you're picking up a call and like someone telling you, or it might not even be advice. It might just be someone calling in and saying like, you guys are amazing.
And also, demonstrated by the fact that this is actually take 2 of this podcast, I'm an overthinker. And maybe I don't need a lot of time to overthink the advice we're going to give. Maybe I should just give it the free advice that I get.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's go.
Yeah. Hashtag cancer.
Yeah, hashtag cancel. That's me.
That's you.
Lots of feelings.
Exactly.
Okay, Stranger Things, Volume 2. So let's start with your thoughts on
Okay.
it. What did you think?
It was a lot of lead up. I feel like it's a lot of setup for the finale coming up.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like I think that there is the final episode better be good. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
Yeah.
I love this show. I think I've been like, we've gone through this journey like over the last month of like watching every single episode and catching up and being excited. And I'm excited about it. I think I'm at this place where I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
Not because I want the show to be over. I would love for more show, because I feel like there's just so much to unpack. Like there's so many things that we still haven't figured out. Like, oh my gosh, you know me, I love reading on Reddit. Like Reddit's like my thing. Like I love, like
he
that's
loves
where
his
I love
Reddit.
to go. And someone put a conspiracy theory about how the Mind Flayer is actually Kali.
Oh.
I know, and that she's actually the bad guy behind all this, and that's why she was introduced once, and
That
like all
fucking
these
Red
things.
Riding Hood
Yeah,
outfit.
and I'm like, oh my goodness, that bald bitch.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways,
It does make sense because they change actors, but with the Vecnas. Well, not
Yeah.
actors, but they really changed the body, and they changed actors for Holly.
Yeah.
So she got to glow up. Vecna got to glow up.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
no, not Holly, Kali.
Collie. Who's Collie?
Callie?
Who's Callie?
Elle's sister.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
okay. Callie.
Yeah.
8, right? Isn't
Yeah,
she 8?
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8. Callie.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said Holly.
No.
I have seen that too.
Yeah.
I think that there's a real.
Yeah. Oh,
I think there's a real
100%.
truth to
There's
that.
some. Yeah.
There's the only way that 11 doesn't die is that Callie is somehow a villain, in my opinion.
Yes. That she's there's a sacrifice in there.
Yeah, that somehow, because like spoiler alert, they have set it up this perception that both Callie and Holly or 11 have to die.
I don't even know. Is Callie Callie is her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kali.
Yeah. Callie. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to die. 8 and 11 have to die.
We are nearing the point. I think 11 has to die.
Yeah.
I don't think Steve's dying.
No.
I don't think Steve is dying. They just keep teasing it a little too much. I think it's a red herring.
Yeah.
Right? And also his last name is
Harrington.
Yeah. So I think that his whole like thing about to die is like a herring, like a red herring.
Yeah.
Which for those of you who don't know what a red herring is I don't actually know the definition, but I figured you would.
So a herring, I think, is a bird.
Yeah.
And so a red herring, because there's blue herrings. I think
Yeah.
I'm getting this all wrong. I don't actually know. I'm gonna go.
I believe red herrings is like a term for like a fake out.
Yeah, that's definitely what it means.
Yeah.
But the origin of it, I actually have heard this before, but it's completely escaping my memory right now.
Yeah.
And so it's either a fish or a bird.
Yeah.
There's heron as a bird.
Oh yeah, I wonder what it is.
All right. If you know what it is, leave a comment below.
Is it a bird or a fish?
Is it a bird or a fish?
Oh, speaking of birds and fishes, oh my gosh, we're not done that topic of Stranger Things, but crushed red peppers. I had more people say C than P.
Really?
Because I need to clarify this. Crushed red peppers in an alphabeticalized, what's it called? Spice rack, okay? The label, I have to clarify that the label says crushed red peppers.
Yes.
Yes, is the actual ingredient peppers itself? Absolutely. But it says on the actual label, crushed red peppers. Like, I wasn't saying that the label was peppers and they're just like crushed red peppers.
No. The label does say crushed red peppers.
Yeah. So
can I jump in here and say, you bought this
for it.
beautiful spice rack with all the same batching jars. So everything looks the same. And it all looks really nice. And it all has the same kind of label. And it came with like 200 labels of 200 different spices. And, we probably have like 25 or 30 of them out right now. And they're all out looking so cute, and alphabetized. So it absolutely makes sense, babe, what the fans are saying of like, it needs to be all alphabetized, because that is really what it is. And it's following along that way.
Yeah, so it's C's. It's
C's.
Stays in the C. It's in the C. Not the C as in SEA. Like C. Okay.
It's in the letter C. And
Yes.
so is that where it is right now upstairs?
It is there upstairs. and that's
Sorry
how
to my sister-in-law. I know she voted, and she told me over text that she wanted it to be P.
Yeah.
For peppers, because she thought it should be the ingredient itself.
And it's
But
okay.
you know what?
Honestly, it's okay. I'm sure.
Steve for the win.
Yeah, it's okay. I feel like there's no right or wrong answer, but visually it looks correct to have it on C.
Yeah.
Back to Stranger Things. it's leading up. It's this volume 2 was a lead up for me. Like, if you're a true fan of the show, I think like you would have enjoyed volume 2 in a not so much like, oh my gosh, there's so much excitement, there's so much of this, there's so much of that. Volume 1 was that, right?
Yeah.
Action, this, new powers, Will doing this, and people doing this and doing that. Everything else right now, like in comparison to volume 2, that's not what's happening. In volume 2, it's like they're really closing up some of the storylines. They're tying up some of the loose knots and loose ends that we, Sadie Sink is back, like to life, aka
We'll
Max,
talk about that in a second.
right? Someone said that she's been hanging out with the Wheelers for too long, and now she's a Wheeler.
Oh yeah.
Get it?
Oh, I don't get it.
Like she's on a wheelchair. She's a Wheeler.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, Reddit can be really gross sometimes.
The internet has not been kind this
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, and then I have a final thought about volume 2, but I'll let you go. What are your thoughts on volume 2?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think that the whole like spin-off into this idea that the Upside Down is not like, let's call it the bad place.
Oh yeah.
That it's actually a channel.
An in between, yes.
I think that was a brilliant move.
Yeah.
And like allowed like, and they did a really good job keeping that under wraps and like now taking it to, and yeah, so I think that that's really cool. I have found that a lot of the scenes that we're going to talk about in a sec that people have been very critical of, I thought were really beautiful, really well shot.
Yeah.
It's been well written, and like I'm just enjoying it. The thing I would say the most about where I'm at.
Very specific Reddit post that I'm going to read about this.
Okay, perfect. The thing I would say the most that I'm feeling is that like I am just so sad that there's only 2 hours and 16 minutes left of this show, because this show has been my favorite show of all time. It has been really just so well done with these kids, watching them grow up, the nostalgia of the 80s. I was telling JM before that like all my siblings are older than me, so I kind of grew up around 80s culture, even if I was born in late 80s. And so it's really, really cool to like see all this stuff brought back. But it's such a great story of human heart and friendship and growing up. And I'm really sad that it's almost over.
There is something with this fandom, the Stranger Things fandom, that it has taken on a life of its own.
Absolutely.
And the parasocial relationships that some of these fans have with these characters are crazy.
Okay. I want to hear your Reddit post, and then there are 2 scenes that I want to talk about, but we don't want to talk about Stranger Things the whole time. So let's do your Reddit post.
This is the Reddit post. I think this is the scene that you're talking about.
Okay.
So the Reddit post is titled, "The build-up for Will's coming out scene was so unnecessary and poorly placed. Rant." So the build-up for Will's coming out scene was completely unnecessary and badly timed. I hate it so much. They're literally preparing to take on one of the biggest missions of their lives to end everything. Hopper's out in 15, be ready in 5. Then Will calls everyone together just to tell them that he's gay. The buildup is so overblown. And as it went on, I could see where it was headed, but like, no shit. They accept him. Why now? Of all times, it's just sloppy writing. Like someone said, oh, right, we need to add this in. Let's put it exactly where it's completely unnecessary. If I were writing this and needed a coming out scene, I'd place it in a moment of desperation, maybe near death, when everything seems hopeless.
Wow.
A scene where, by the way, this is a moment of desperation, by the way. I don't know if you know what the moment of death. Yeah, I don't know if you know what the current climate of the show is, but they are all about to die.
It's feeling a little tense.
But okay, a scene where in what feels like their final moments, everyone opens up about what they've been through. Example, Dustin sharing his struggles with Eddie and explaining why he's been acting like an ass of the group. Everyone laying it all on the table, like everything. So far, the writing hasn't delivered at all, and aside from Max having the reaction time of a sloth, this has to be the first truly badly written scene in the show. Thoughts? I responded with, there is no right or wrong time to come out. Yeah. Because this whole comment thing is riddled with microaggression. Like, I think people need to sit down for a second after you've written something out and like, you know, and practice with me, read it out loud.
Yeah.
You sound like an ass.
Yeah.
You sound like an ass because trying to criticize trying to criticize how and when a coming out should be is silly when there is no time, there is no place. The characters are supposed to be relatable, and the scene was a lot more relatable than you give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I quote him, but like, no shit, they accept him. Op means original poster.
Yeah.
That's crazy because coming out prior to this generation where being gay is cool and trendy, the AIDS pandemic creating such a wave of stigma that queer people during that time of the show is supposed to be taking place that they had to live with and still people living with to this day. And I quoted him again. I place it in a moment of desperation, maybe near death, when everything seems hopeless. Stop encouraging the narrative that gay people should only come out when it matters.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's saying. He's basically saying you should only be telling people about this because you're about to die. It's like, no. Yeah. Absolutely not. No. And then I ended it off with your whole take is riddled with microaggression.
Yeah. I've seen a real clear divide on this scene in social media that everyone that I know who's queer loved that scene.
Yeah.
And everyone who's not doesn't get it, doesn't understand its power. And you're absolutely right. They're missing the point of the timing. And they tried to do that. The writers, I think, tried to create the sense of tension of what coming out would have meant like in the 80s by teasing it out so much with Robin. Like, they made it such a slow burn with Robin because it's a huge deal. Like, we're like now, 3 seasons in since meeting Robin, and we've only known she's out
for one, or
she's
one
only
and a half.
She's only come out to 2 people.
Yeah,
Steve and her now girlfriend, and now Will. Like in this season, she comes into the 3rd. Yeah. That's trying to show how hard it is to come out of that time. You're absolutely right. Like, HIV and AIDS is not talked about in this show, but that is looming in the background.
Absolutely.
Anyone queer would know that HIV is like,
in the 80s, right?
Yeah, because it's 84. It's after 84 that the show is filmed, and so like this is all huge But the straight world has just reacted being like, oh, this was so obvious. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
And his acceptance wasn't obvious either. And the other thing that people are missing is that the only way you're going to defeat Vecna is by being fully connected to your whole self.
Yes.
That's why Will has to come out.
You have to be in your truth, and you have to be, I think that, when you had mentioned this earlier this week, you had said, you have to be your true self, your true authentic self to beat Vecna, because Vecna is just this figurative thing that we are all dealing with. We all have our own Vecnas in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
It's like our inner saboteur, whatever you want to label it. You have your own Vecna in you, but in order for you to overcome those fears and those things that are holding you back, you have to come into terms that, like, I love myself, and this is who I am, and I need people to know who I am, and that's important. It's important for you to live your truth. It's important for you to do the things that you want to do in life. That nothing should really be holding you back. People are missing the point of like what Vecna is, and like we watched an entire season where he only attacked people with these traumas that they haven't like gotten over or that they're hiding from, and like they targeted all these people. Like even Max, we saw it with Max. Max was not over the fact that she potentially was a cause in Billy's death. Yeah. And that's hard to get over because it's like, at one point Billy was an ass, but also your brother, but also he sacrificed himself.
But it's exactly what the show is about. It's about how doubt and shame take your power away. Let's talk about the Max scene. So this is where Max and Holly are trying to escape the Upside Down. And
did you enjoy the little podcast that they started right as they got to the door?
Yeah.
They had a podcast episode talking about boys and love.
Yeah, exactly. Their ex-boyfriends.
Their brothers.
I mean, so I will say I have loved the internet for this. Like the sheer volume of stuff I have seen over the last week, just eviscerating this scene and making fun of it. Some of it really lighthearted, some of it really negative. The lighthearted stuff, brilliant. Keep it coming. I don't want that to stop. Like it's it's so fun because it was a long scene. I remember we were watching it together, and I'm screaming, "Run!"
I
Max.
was hiding, like I was like, please, like I didn't, like oh.
But this is what memes are for, is to make fun of like this. And I think they did that on purpose. Like, I think the showrunners were dragged that scene out knowing we would all be like, come on.
Yeah, can you please just run?
And so it has been a real joy to see the controversy about that scene. But also, like, people remember it's a show. Like,
yes,
it's a show. They're trying to make you scream at the TV.
Yes.
Because then that is what has created all of this discussion.
So you think it's intentional?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's intentional. I think that they edited it and they realized, oh crap, like there is no other way that we can make this look like this. I think like it's like they thought it was going to be a lot faster, like the scene. They probably were going to edit it a little bit like to make it really like pace it better. But the way that it was paced, it was like no one was listening to what they were saying. Everyone was just like, run, please, just run.
Yeah.
And then it made it even worse that the demo dogs were attacking like Max's body. We also didn't know where Vecna was. Because it was different if we knew Vecna was occupied. Because now we know he's not omnipresent.
Yes. Yeah, we know that.
Right?
Yeah.
So we've learned that Vecna is not omnipresent. And also, Vecna isn't in physical form all the time when you see him.
Yeah.
So he does more mind games than it is like, the only time that Vecna has shown himself physically was at the compound.
Yeah.
Like where he literally walked
Otherwise,
out.
it's all mental games.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's been using Demodorkins.
That's what we call Chomsky. Or Demodorkin.
Demodogs and Demogorgons.
Yeah.
And Will.
Yeah.
To spy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are wrapping up Stranger Things? What are your hopes and dreams of the final episode?
I read somewhere that because the Duffer Brothers love these characters, that no one will die.
I've heard that too.
I need someone to die. I need it to be heart-wrenching. We unfortunately will not be watching it on the 31st. We'll be watching it on the 1st at the theaters, which is lame because we really wanted to watch it, but we have New Year's plans with the Barbies.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be really fun. But...
So we'll be seeing it for the first time in a theater on the 1st.
Yeah. And when this episode airs, like, the whole world would have seen the finale.
Exactly.
So let me marvel at this for 1 second here. Like, I think I don't want anything left uncovered. I don't want a potential for another season. I know that it's over and like it's written out that way, but like I just want it to be complete. Like it's just like, as a true fan of this series, as a true fan of series that I've watched, just kind of put everything together. This 2 hours better get it all.
Yeah.
I want to see some happy endings with Robin.
Yeah.
I think I'd like her to survive, but I don't think because they keep doing this thing where she makes promises, like, oh, I'm gonna see you, we're gonna go to we're gonna have dessert at that place that she keeps talking about, and I'm like, oh, when a character does that, it generally means that they're not gonna make it to the date or like those things. But I mean, it is what it is. Maya Hawke has been a great addition to the team.
Amazing. Fantastic actress.
Yeah, great actor.
Actor's the better word. I think either we're losing Hopper or 11 or both. I don't think we can... and I'm pretty sure Hopper's gone. Like, he's not... I think he's going to die.
Yeah.
So whether we lose Hopper and 11, but I just feel like they haven't set up Hopper and Joyce enough to be, like... have a future together.
Yeah.
They love each other, but you don't see a lot of future there. So I think that he's gonna go. I'm really excited just to see these kids come up with their final plan. The show has always been a show of come up with a plan and try and execute it. And so that scene is going to be really fun as they come up with a final plan to beat him. And let's go. I'm excited. Thank you for buying the tickets.
Of course.
I'm really excited. Thanks for embracing this.
Of course. And thank you so much, Cineplex. They sent us food vouchers.
Yeah.
That were more than the price of the ticket, which was cute.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a Netflix thing or a Cineplex thing, but we're excited. We're going to get some popcorn. We're going to all the goodies.
M&Ms.
Yeah.
Popcorn and
M&Ms. And all the treats. My final thing that I wanted to mention, because I think it's so funny, is on the internet, everyone has been saying, does anyone else think that Erica was too old for Vecna to take, or because he was too scared of getting that smoke?
She would
She would have been out. Imagine if she was kidnapped by Vecna.
Yeah.
Everyone would have been like, we gotta get her. She'd pop out and be like, what's good?
She's the most powerful character in this show.
She would have been out immediately. She would have figured it out. So everyone on the internet's like, do you think Vecna found her too old, or if he was just scared of that smoke?
So scared.
Okay.
God bless.
Next
New Year's resolutions.
Oh, New Year's resolution.
Are you a New Year's resolution guy?
I am.
Are you?
I'm not very I'm actually very superstitious of a lot of things. I don't know why I was trying to lie to you guys.
He is. He very much is.
I'm very superstitious of a lot of things, but one thing that I 100% believe in, and it's so funny because it's just even as I say it, okay? The way that you end your year is how you start, or the way you start your year is how your year is going to go.
Right.
So, last year, I remember, or like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I remember I had a New Year's where I was like by myself. And I pretty much spent that entire year just like being like super independent, just trying to figure out my stride and all these things. Yeah. And then I decided like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I liked this. It was great. It made me build my independence. But then I started seeking out like my friends.
Yeah.
And so that New Year's, Oscar, who was my first like really, I want to say like my first gay friend that I didn't hook up with.
Okay, yeah.
My first gay friend that I didn't hook up with.
I remember mine too.
Who invited me to their New Year's. He was dating this guy, Levi, at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And they invited me to their New Year's. I went to that, and I spent the New Year's Day with them. It was so much fun. I met some really cool people. I took a guy home that day too. It was good.
You started off your year very
well.
Yeah,
I did. I started off the year very well, but then that year is what then catapulted. Like that was my Big Brother year.
Right.
So I was on Big Brother. I started doing all that stuff, and it was just like a full year of just like meeting people, just like opening doors for like meeting this, mingling this, people who suddenly people who knows me, and all of a sudden all this. And then the year after that was when I was like, volleyball.
Right.
So then I got into volleyball and then all of these things. And so I'm a believer that the way that you spend your New Year's is going to be how your New Year's
year is going to go.
It's always been that way for me, and maybe because like I am like, if anything, I am one of these people who I am so unrelenting with the things that I want to do in life that like it's very impossible for me not to make something that I think about come to fruition. So this year, or like whenever I think about like how I set myself up for the year, it really does mean something to me in that. So New Year's resolutions, last year, my New Year's resolution was that I wanted to be a lot more intentional.
Right.
It's all about intention. And I did exactly that. I was like, I literally stopped doing this whole thing where I put myself in positions where like I was even remotely uncomfortable. Like if I didn't show up to something you invited me to, chances are I wasn't busy. Chances are I just didn't want to be there. And that's okay. It's like, that's the thing. Like, I don't want people thinking that like, oh, it's like, no, I'm empowering people to start doing that more. Like so many times, like I hear people talk about, oh, but I got to do this and I got to do that. I'm like, but you don't. Yeah. You don't, and you're putting yourself in those positions, and it's okay if you are. That's another thing too. If you are putting yourself in those positions, that's fine. Yeah. You're not better or worse than anyone who is like either or. But for me, I'm going to tell you now, fabulous year.
But
fabulous year. I've not had to feel like I was less than. I've not sat in any rooms where I felt uncomfortable for an entire year. I was with people who loved me, who filled my cup, who I filled their cups. Actually, so much so that I'm so exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to, like, sleep for a month. Like, it's...
I agree,
yeah.
though, about the ability to say no to people and choosing your tribe, the folks that work with you, that build you up, fill your cup. Like, stop chasing everybody in the world that wants a piece of you. Decide
Absolutely.
who gets it. Like, what you are, what you bring to the table is a beautiful thing. And there's only so much of you to go around. So
Yeah.
choose where you're going to spend that energy, who you're going to spend it with, and don't feel bad for not sharing it with other people.
Exactly. If you're finding reasons not to go to something already, like if your immediate reaction to something is not a yes,
Yeah.
then why are you compromising like your like whatever it is, like whether it be your mental health or like your physical health or just like even your like your confidence, like why are you putting yourself in that position?
Exactly.
Just stop.
Exactly.
And like at the end of like I'm like scolding people, like stop that, like that's it. It's not it's not like
Listen to him. You better listen to him.
and I can understand FOMO, and I can understand like when people like I can understand when you stop showing up for things, people stop inviting you to things. I get it. Oh, trust me, I get it. And maybe I have this advantage where I really don't get any FOMO at all. Like I really don't get like
No, you don't generally get a lot
I
of FOMO.
literally do not care. Like I live in the country now, and like actually pisses me off how often we keep going back to Toronto at this point, because it's just like I thought we were supposed to live a peaceful life and not. I'm kidding.
And I'm just like, I just need 5 minutes away from him. just 5 minutes with somebody else, please.
But I really did set out my intentions this year. Like I really was intentional with the move. Like when I moved, I was
Yeah.
intentional with.
Have you figured out your New Year's resolutions for next year? Have you decided?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
But let me ask you before I go into it.
Yeah.
Are you a New Year's resolution kind of person?
I am not.
Yeah.
I am not at
You're
all.
also not a you also give this is very serial killer vibes, because he also doesn't like dogs.
I do like dogs.
Oh,
What?
sorry, let me rephrase. He doesn't think dogs are family. Well, if dogs aren't a family, David, okay?
You're getting as much mileage out of this AI generated image. that
If
you
dogs
can.
aren't family, then explain this.
Yeah.
Explain.
Explain.
It's so cute.
I can't explain that. I don't think it exists in nature. That is our very cute dog in a womb in an ultrasound
Chomsky
photo.
in my womb.
in your particular womb.
Yeah.
I wonder how he got there.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'm not a New Year's resolution person. I never really have been. I think that, a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves to set their year up. But I love everything you're saying, and I have embraced that side, like about how you start your year is a way of setting the tone for the entire year.
Yes.
For the first time this year, I'm not doing New Year's resolutions of like, I'm going to go to the gym more.
Oh,
I'm going
that's-
to
ugh.
like, or, I'm going to write more, but like,
That's such a default.
Yeah.
Of course everyone should go to the gym more.
Yeah. Like, and of course, like I should drink less. And so
Yeah.
like all these things, I'm not going to put any of that down, but what I do want to this year for the year, I do want to take time. I'm actually going to do it a little bit tomorrow morning while you're editing this, and sit down, backing up. A few weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, I sat down and I wrote out a page of things I want in life. What do I want in life? And after 4 weeks, I sat down with that list again, and I scratched some things out, and I wrote new things down.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to pull up my little list.
Yeah.
I'm going to scratch out some things, and I'm going to put some new things down. And like what's coming together is like a really crystallized list of like what I want to feel happy.
I love that.
And so I'm going to do that tomorrow as like kind of like wrapping up my year and setting the intention for the year. Because like I agree with you. I'm not superstitious about what happens on the 31st sets my year up for success.
Yeah.
But I'm making an active choice tomorrow, just like you are, to like think about some things
Yeah.
that I want to have going into the year ahead.
Yes.
And to be intentional about that.
Yes. It really was a year of intention for me. Like I cannot say anything that's happened to me this year was out of pure luck.
Yeah.
Like I really set myself up in ways that I needed to, like even just like call it manifestation, but like I like manifested all of this, and then in due time, right? Like really thinking about like even this move, like can I make this move work? Right? How weird is it going to feel that I can't just get up and go see my friends and do all these things? My New Year's resolution for 2026. I'm bringing bullying back. Yeah, that's right. If you are out of line, you are going to hear it from me.
Yeah.
I am tired. I am so sick and tired of like people who are just like something happened on the internet where like everyone's just allowed to say whatever they want to now. It's because we stopped bullying people. We literally stopped like pushing this narrative that you cannot just say that. You cannot just do that. Like
Right.
it is not okay for you to, and it's like no, and you're gonna hear it from me, especially if you are my friend. You are prime targets for this.
Don't do anything stupid.
You are gonna hear it from me. Like I'm tired of it. No more excuses. No more. Oh, but no.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna push you in direction. I'm gonna give you my advice. I'm also
To everyone but me, right? This
Yeah.
is no bullying me, right?
I do that on a regular basis already. I'm also I read this online where this year people are going to start working with people, or sorry, this year people's friendships are going to be on a baseball strike system. Like 2 strikes you're out, you know, or 3 strikes you're out. Hashtag sports. But 3 strikes you're
lost
out.
one World Series and now you've got all these strike metaphors.
So like if for example, like we're not talking like, so if for example, like I invite you out to something and I want to do something with you, and you know, you make an excuse, you know, that's strike number 1. Yeah, that we're going there.
All
We're
right.
going there. And if 3 strikes,
I might be single in a week, guys.
and if
I'll let
3
you know.
strikes happen where I've invited you to something intimately to go do something, or I invited you to come do something with me this year, and you don't go, you're done. You're never getting it. You're never getting an invite from me ever again. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing these excuses. I have people who are begging to hang out with me,
Right.
who are dying on their hills to see me. I have people getting on the GO train to come see me.
We do. We had like 3 visitors in 24 hours. 3
Yes.
sets of visitors in
Yes.
24 hours here at the house.
My sister getting in with her newborn child in a Tesla during this crazy weather.
Yeah,
To come
exactly.
see me.
Yeah.
Like if they can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
And so moving forward, I will be going. When I read that, I was like, oh, I love that idea, and I'm gonna be moving on that, moving that way,
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah.
I think it's just brilliant. Like, listen, if you can't make it to a party, like some random party that we're all going to, that's not where this applies.
Yeah.
But like, if I am going somewhere and I invite you and say like, oh my gosh, we should go watch,
And you say
this.
yes, and like you're excited,
Yes.
and then you back out.
And then you back out,
Yeah.
right? Or like,
Yeah.
or if like I invite you and like it's met with like an excuse immediately, that's a strike.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I'm just tired of it. I don't have time anymore. Now that I've settled into the country, I have more time to be evil
Yeah.
and less time to be.
Yeah. Well, that jives with one of my New Year's resolutions. And we'll end on this, which is to be more expressive and to not say sorry for what I'm expressing. And so this podcast is part of that. Like what I'm going to say on here, not everyone's going to love or agree with or think that I should be the one saying it. But you know what? I really think very strongly of myself. I'm a nice guy with the things that I do, right? Like I work in community activism. I work for positive politics every day. Not just like working in politics, but trying to make the Liberal Party actually better and more connected and engaged with Ontarians. Like, I pour my heart out in all these different initiatives and projects to make things better for people. So I'm going to be a little bit meaner with what I have to say because like I have this feeling that I'm not allowed to say anything because I'm supposed to be this nice guy. But no, I don't think that's fair anymore. And so for 2026, I want to be more expressive, good and bad, but it's going to mean some more bad because you know more than anyone that I can be a little bit mean and a little bit judgmental. And I really reined it in for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year that it's time to like let it all hang out a little bit more.
And I feel like and I feel like I'm onto something because I feel like that's where everyone is going, like
Yeah.
gearing up for, because something feels very different about 2026, and like people are just, I don't want to even say like angry, like it's
Yeah.
not about angry, it's about like really coming into your like putting your foot down.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. Stop getting pushed around. Stop putting yourself in positions where you don't feel valued enough.
Yeah.
Like I don't like. Anyways, I'm coming at you like a disappointed dad, not because I'm judging you. I get it. It's so much easier to say than do. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's it's a lot easier, and especially if you're a people pleaser, it happens. I too, and I'm also like a perfectionist. Like it's a lot. So, we have only time for one. We actually
Okay.
have a couple.
We have a couple, but we're going to do one of the...
We have a
All right.
voice note. So I am gonna play it on here.
I'm going to
and
bring
then
in my
I'll play it on
microphone.
for you guys too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll
Yeah.
you'll put the sound in through there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, JM and David. This is Dan calling in from Toronto.
Hi,
Please
Dan.
excuse my stuffed up nose. I'm calling in to weigh in on the debate of where to put the crushed red pepper flakes if we're organizing our spice cabinet alphabetically. I think that the crushed red pepper flakes should go with the R's. Now listen, I know, JM, you said it should go with the C's because it's crushed red pepper flakes. But that's just really how the red pepper flakes are presented. If we want to get technical, the oregano and basil in your spice cabinet is dried oregano and dried basil. Because basil and oregano are leaves. And in this case, if they're in your spice cabinet, they're dried and crushed up, even though it doesn't say that on the container. So I think instead of going with the crushed, which is how the red pepper flakes are presented, you should go with what they actually are, which are red pepper flakes, and put them with the R's. Now, before I go, I will say this. Another word or another way to say red pepper flakes is chili flakes. Chili flakes and red pepper flakes are the same thing. So if you really want to fight to keep it in the C's, you can say, well, we're just calling these chili flakes, and chili flakes go in with the C's anyways. So I guess that's kind of like a devil's advocate other side of it. But me personally, I'm putting them with the R's. Thank you.
He has totally convinced me.
That's strike number one.
Sorry,
Dan Zabo, strike number one.
I'm on board. I think that calling them chili flakes, first of all, makes sense. We'll keep them with the C's. We'll keep them in your nice alphabetical order. But we're gonna call them chili flakes. But also, he's right. We have like the minced garlic. I think is in M. I don't think it's in garlic. It's not in dried minced garlic. But he's really got you on the dried shit. Like that's good. Well presented. Well thought out. Thanks for listening. That was great. What do you think, JM?
2 strikes. That was worth 2 strikes.
It's okay. The year hasn't started yet for us. It started for you when you're watching this. So you're using your 2 strikes for 2025, Dan. It resets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
resets
resets.
yearly.
Yeah. So
You're on thin ice, buddy.
yeah. Like keep it up and keep them coming. Thank you so much for that. That was fun, Dan.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Not Couples Therapy, where once again we are not therapists, but
Nope. But you're welcome to think so.
don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.